are the ancient aliens? And what do they want? And why? This is an answer to those programs like Ancient Aliens and other ones like it. They get the history right, they get the architecture, archaeology right, but their conclusions are totally wrong. These ancient aliens are recorded in Genesis 6 and in the book of Enoch. They married human women and taught them charms, enchantments, cutting of tools or roots, and made them acquainted with plants or drugs, impregnated them, and they bore giants that cannibalized humans. They became guilty of bestiality against birds, believe it or not, beasts, reptiles, fish. This explains the cryptids we have even now. They drank blood, which is probably where the legends of vampires comes from. Taught men the weapons of war, taught men astrology, and which is a perversion of astronomy. Astronomy is the study of the stars to read God's billboard of coming events. Astrology is for personal gain and fortune-telling, which is a form of witchcraft. The reason for Noah's flood was to get rid of the Nephilim offspring of these fallen angels who had corrupted the whole earth. Noah and his family were the only ones with no fallen angel DNA. They were perfect in their generations. So the Lord was sick and tired of the abominations that these fallen angels had created on the earth. He created the earth for us, the humans, not for them. They resurfaced again after the flood. David killed Goliath. Later, his men killed Goliath's brothers. There was Og, the king of Bashan, that they also killed. They were always ordered to kill the giants wherever they found them. And God had the Israelites killed down to the last man, woman, child, and beast, because these things had tainted these civilizations with the teachings and the blood of fallen angels and Nephilim. Now they're back again in USOs and UFOs and underground bases. They are teaching man the same things updated to the time in which we live. Doesn't it seem peculiar to anyone that these things crash all over the planet? They're supposed to be so smart that they have traveled who knows how far from distant stars and planets, and yet as soon as they get here, they crash. Even our aircraft can do better than that. The bodies and live aliens in these craft are androids, sort of like Terminator. Nephilim are too arrogant, selfish, and full of hate to sacrifice themselves. Reverse engineering is their plan to teach humans. We would never fall for it if giants were to come on the scene and try teaching us something. We just get bigger guns and bigger bullets. This reverse engineering has caused governments to ally themselves with them and keep their inventions secret, except to a select few. It's happening now. Denial is the government's way of covering up their own evil plans to eliminate the population down to less than 1 billion worldwide. Look up Agenda 21 on the internet. These aliens have no mercy, no feelings. They have plans to manipulate our DNA and theirs so they're more like us in appearance. They want to blend in with us, not the other way around. In the flesh, we may be rather frail beings, but we have the ability to accept salvation and redemption. This is something they do not have. The salvation and redemption offered to us, mere humans, is beyond their reach, and they are desperate to take from us what they can't have. They can't fool God, but they can destroy as much of his beloved creation, mankind, as possible before they pay the final penalty. They hate us and fear us. Someday resurrected believers will judge the angels. That's what Jesus says. Know you not that someday you will judge angels? The time of Christ's soon return is almost upon us, and they are desperate and full of wrath and hate toward us. It is as prophesied in the Bible, and becoming as it was in the days of Noah, with their increased numbers. We also have floods, typhoons, fires, comet flybys, record-breaking snowfalls, earthquakes worldwide. Scoffers say these things happen all the time. True, but not all in 1 year. Who am I? I was section director for MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, in Roswell in the mid to late 90s, and also worked as a volunteer at the UFO Museum and Research Center there. I used to have videotapes of Phil Snyder, who was a geologist and worked with, they called it Skunk Works at Area 51, telling what he knew and experienced with underground bases and aliens. Those tapes disappeared right out of my house. And later, a website I had about what was under the Denver airport also disappeared. I have never been threatened by or met the men in black or any other government official. The info I obtained just seems to disappear. I have no authority, hold no office, and have no access to get public attention, so I suppose I'm not considered a real threat to their agenda. My life has been saved miraculously over and over since I was a child. I felt hands catch me when I fell off a cliff. I've been lost in the desert 2 or 3 times. I've been almost drowned in car accidents, never been hurt. My son, who was riding in front of me, we were riding our horses down a narrow cliffside. I was behind him, and I went over the horse's head. He said he never saw anybody fall like I do. I float through the air, and I ended up under the horse's hooves. Even the horse was surprised, wondering, with a look on his face like, what are you doing down there? Anyway, it's been over and over again. I don't know why he paid so much attention to me and cared for me that much. But here I am, I'm 75 now, and perhaps it was for this very hour that he has kept me going, so that I could give you this information, so that you'll know who these things are, and not be fooled by any of these programs trying to tell you that these aliens, so-called aliens, seeded the human race. No, they did not. Then you might ask the question, well, if they seeded us here, who created them? I mean, it's ridiculous. God created the heavens and the earth and everything in it. He created us. He created this planet for humans, not for fallen angels and their offspring. I don't know why God kept me alive until now, unless it was to tell you these things. He wants you to know he is not dead. And you are not the result of being seated here by aliens. You are the higher being, not them. Read Joel chapter 2. As resurrected saints, those who have accepted Christ are all saints. As resurrected saints, just read Joel 2. That army that comes behind Jesus. We are faster than speeding bullets, more powerful than a locomotive, able to jump tall buildings in a single bound. Just read it. These things have reason to be afraid of us. They know what we will become. And And in the millennium, the devil and his angels will be thrown in the pit for 1,000 years, and we'll get to see what the earth would be like without the influence of the devil. Anyway, I'm trying to get this website. This book is on this website. Can you see me?
Closer.
Anyway, this is the website. This whole book, everything that I just talked about is on this book. It's the first 11 chapters. And I'm asking for people to want, if you think this book is worthy of being published, to help me by sending a donation to Dorrance Publishing, Attention Alexander, 701 Smithfield Street, 3rd floor, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15222. And the address of the website is ufosarereal.simplesite.com/. So help me out here if you want to see this book get published. We need to reach people before it's too late, and we're running out of time. Thank you for your attention. God bless each and every one of you, and fear not. That's what Jesus said more than anything. Fear not, he's coming soon.